Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bikini and the Brain. Here with the lovely Ashley Kaltwasser, of course.
Hi.
And we are doing all things discussing what happened this year. What an awesome year this was.
Dang, it was a busy year for both of us.
Yeah.
Holy moly. It's like you can finally all right, we did it. We did it.
Yeah.
2024, that's a wrap.
We even had a dinner last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was fun.
I didn't though. I wasn't even hungry.
I know Ashley came. Ashley planned everything.
Ball.
Ashley planned everything. What did we go? It was Groucho.
The all you can eat Brazilian buffet.
It was good at fashion show.
Yeah, and I was like seriously looking forward to that dinner all week. Like seriously, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so much fun. And then I got there and I was just like literally like not hungry. I mean, honestly, ever since I got back home from Ohio, I've not been hungry. I'm not hungry right now. Like, I don't know. I'm going through a phase. You ever have phases where you're just like not hungry? I'm not hungry right now.
Yeah, I've done a few where I like just don't eat that much. Where I told you at dinner, I was like, yeah, I just stopped. I don't know why. I'm not purposely like doing intermittent fasting, but after 6 or so, I'm just like not hungry. So I'm just like not forcing myself to eat like I used to. As a bodybuilder, I would eat no matter what. Right before I go to bed, I'd have like my last protein meal. But now I'm just like, Kimber's even like, that's weird. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm still lifting hard and, body's not changing in a bad way. So like, I'm not forcing myself to eat that last meal. So I get it. I'm just not eating for like 12 hours at point. So I get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I usually the opposite happens, when you're just at home bored, but I just haven't been hungry. So at dinner, I wasn't hungry. And that sucks because it's like you work your mind up like, this is going to be fun. This is going to be such a good meal. And I'm just like, I'm not hungry though.
Yeah, that's a place you really got to be hungry.
I know, for a buffet. I'm like, well,
we took advantage of it. It was fun.
Yeah. I'm glad you had fun. I had fun watching you guys eat at least.
Yeah, so funny. So a lot of things to recap this year. And it's funny. You're like, yeah, we can finally take a breather. And I'm like, yeah, for like a week. And
I know. We're starting it up again.
Well, Fit Model.
Oh, Fit Model.
Dude.
Fit Model.
Tell me about it.
Oh my goodness.
Fit Model is going to change the game. And it's funny is that over the last couple years, bikini has gotten really turned into a really advanced coaching division. It wasn't so like when I started having like a team and had coaches and all this stuff, brought coaches on, bikini was basically Fit Model. Like when I started that, I was like, okay, bikini is Fit Model. And so the advanced level of coaching wasn't where it's at now. Like you need to be crazy good to be putting out bikini physiques these days. Like you need to know everything, right? But Fit Model was a little bit easier. You didn't need to go into like so much of the sciences. You didn't need to bring people in as lean, as big, or whatever. So over the years, since it's gotten evolved, I've like brought our team like down. It's like we're like a small crew now. But now Fit Model volume is going to come in, but I don't want to be a big team anymore. So it's like, how do we manage both with keeping our, keeping everything quality there? So we're just going to have like a full on cap on everything and have to, take on only so many, so it's a whole different thing now. So, but I'm like, okay, I'm opening up because I kind of was really slow myself for a while. I was just kind of like chilling and I was like, okay, well, I'll just work, do my check-ins in the morning, Monday through Wednesday, and kind of live this kind of like semi-retired thing. But this is really awakening like me. And I'm like, I better get back to work. Like let's do this, because it's a lot more, there's a lot of fun and that's going to come with it. So I opened Thursdays back up. I'm going to start doing more seminars here, which is funny because this year I was like, yeah, I guess we won't do as many seminars. There's just not as many bikini competitors. And now I'm like, dude, this is going to be like 2015, 2016 seminars. Remember those seminars?
Oh, especially in the beginning. Because here's the thing. Everyone's still so confused because there's not a lot of information. So any information that is available, they're going to go to it. So I expect those, especially those first few seminars where everyone's still like, what the heck is this? I bet you they're going to be like packed.
Yeah.
Speaking of.
Oh yeah, seminars.
Speaking of seminars, oh my gosh, we got a treat for you guys.
We do.
So if you're in the Utah area, actually Nevada, it's close to Utah. Any state that's around Utah or even anywhere in the world, honestly. Wherever you're at. We have a seminar for you guys in Salt Lake City, Utah, February 8th, 2025. We will be there. We will be going over bikini and Fit Model division, and you don't want to miss it. So more information and registration can be found at thewasatchwarrior.com, and we hope to see you guys there. Okay. So
yeah.
Anyway.
And I'm gonna buy 2 suits as a giveaways for people who are there too. Yeah, so I'll buy 2 suits from Angels. We're gonna do a lot of things with Angel competition bikinis this year, just so you know.
Ashley K Fit at checkout.
Ashley K Fit at checkout.
Just say
yes. And well, we're gonna be doing, I don't know how many suits we're gonna give away this year, but we always give away a lot. Always that's something I always like to do is give back. So you'll see some suits. I gave away a couple last week and a few weeks before that. Yeah, so we did a lot. I hope to do more this year of that even. So but anyway, speaking of those seminars, yeah, so just to give you guys like a numbers rundown. What's funny is going into this year, I even told people, I was like, yeah, we're just gonna keep the seminars kind of smaller just for our team now, because we'd get some people here and there from other places. But I've been doing seminars, guys. I've been doing seminars for so long. I remember I was talking to Tori about it. When we started doing seminars, we did them every Saturday, every single Saturday, no matter what. I worked every Saturday doing a free bikini posing class, no money made, from 2012 all the way until like 2020, when we had to shut gyms down and stuff. Every Saturday, right? That's crazy how you think about it. The only time we didn't was like during wintertime when there was no shows or anything. So maybe 2 months out of the winter. And so, and then we came to Vegas and it was like once a month we started doing once a week. Then it was like once a month because everything kind of slowed down with bikini. There just wasn't as many bikini competitors because they got bigger and more muscular and people weren't as in shape or they weren't doing as many shows. But I remembered, I was like, man, when we were doing those seminars back in like 2012, 2013, 14, 15, all the way to like 18, every weekend we'd have 15 girls, at a seminar. Sometimes some weekends would just be crazy. And we'd have, I don't know what happened. Me and Tori would be like, I don't know what happened this weekend. There's 28 girls here. It was crazy. Like how many people. And as the division got bigger, it was less and less and less. So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see. I don't know if it's going to be the same. I'm going to start off with the seminars once a month. If they get too big, then I'll do them twice a month. I don't mind doing them more. It's just, I'm not going to do them every weekend when there's 5 people here, like that's crazy. So, yeah, so we're going to do a lot more with the seminars too. We're going to do, also for our team, we're going to do longer seminars. So people that fly in, they'll do the seminar and they'll also do like a mechanic seminar just for our team. And then we'll probably keep the posing itself open, I think, for other people, unless it gets too crazy. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. This year is going to be crazy. It reminds me of like old school times. But
yeah, it definitely relit a fire in a lot of people. And it's so cool to hear, even a coach, your fire is relit. But those bikini girls, a lot of them are coming back. I hear a lot of like, man, I quit bikini like 4 years ago and it was getting crazy, but now I have a chance to compete again. So that's awesome, dude. Yeah. That is like music to our ears, because whether you like the idea of it or not, just realize that anytime our sport can expand, it's good for everyone. Yeah. Everyone, whether you're a bikini, figure, men's bodybuilding, whatever division you're in, anytime our industry can expand, it's good for everyone. Everyone. Yep. So sponsorships, everything, exposure, getting more mainstream, things like that,
Yeah, you know who it is that the people that complain are the people who haven't been around the industry long enough.
Because this happens every time.
Yeah.
Happens every time a new division is released.
Someone who started like 2 years ago and they never saw what it was like before. And I'm like, hey, come in a time machine with me. Let's go back to like 1998 when I was working booths for Nutrisport at shows. And it's funny, I remember because I was one of the first booths I worked was like in 2099, whatever. And Dorian Yates was like next to me at the booth selling his peptide protein powder, which is like, it was like this cutting edge protein powder. It had like digestive enzymes in it. It was like, or probiotics in it, something like that. And it was like I just remember because it was Dorian. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Dorian Yates. And I was like, 17 years old or something. I was like, oh my gosh, I work in this booth. But we're at a high school, we're at a high school and it's a big show. It's the Orange County, California show. It's like you win Mr. Orange County. That's like a big deal. Like everyone went after that. It was like one of our big shows. And there's like 75 people in it. And I'm like, that's like a big show in California, a super populated area in Orange County, Southern California, which is huge, right? It's like the market is they're just everyone's fit because it's California, it's a beach city, right? So I'm like, okay, we're in a high school at one of the premiere shows and there's less than 100 people or around 100 people, right, at the show. And then Bikini came out, right? And we're in a small area like Denver, Colorado, and it's the Rocky Mountain and there's 400 people. And now we're no longer in high schools. We're in these beautiful venues. We're in tons of sponsorship. There's 500 people in the audience, right? Like everything is so much better when there was more volume. And if that goes away, guys, we're back in high schools with no sponsors and, 60 people in this obscure, sport that no one knows about, so it's like everything that changed with like the men's physique and bikini was, Yeah, shows got longer. That does suck. As a coach, especially when I was coaching men's physique and bikini, it definitely sucked because the show would start with, how'd it go? It would end with bikini and prejudging, but start with men like in the morning. And then you would end with men in the night and start with bikini. So, oh, that was the worst.
Yeah.
Now I'm just doing bikini and fit model. So I can like kind of start my day. Like, it's better. I get a break. I don't have to be there the entire 14 hours. But yeah, it's a totally different thing, guys. And it is so much, it is like, I can't even explain to you how much better it is now because they can afford to do better things. There's sponsors, there's enough revenue to like buy better venues and backdrops and things like that. Like it's a totally different. Everyone wins. Yeah. We literally go right back to high schools, guys. Like we go right back to high schools and vinyl banners and we're done. Like lighting is whatever is in the auditorium. That's your lighting. So it's, I don't know why people complain. I'm like, you guys are crazy. The opportunities,
I think like, there's a little bit of like, I work so hard and I have this amount of muscle and these little girls are going to come in and steal the spotlight kind of thing. I'm sure that's a lot of it. Like in their mind, it's like, why are they getting the attention? They don't belong on the same stage because we, we're bigger. We worked harder. That's a lot of what a lot of people might think, which it brings me to a point. Like a lot of people on the people that don't like it also would say, oh, so you're telling me you don't even have to train now to be able to compete. You just have to like do cardio and maybe diet a little bit. So I just want to give you guys a friendly reminder. Since I was the example used in the photo. Yeah, I definitely did more than that, I would say. Including an entire like high school, college career of track and field. That's something, right? It's not like I just did yoga 2 times a week. So after my college track, I just kind of jumped into bikini, started training for it and put a little muscle on throughout the years. But yeah, it definitely wasn't just yoga 2 times a week. Not that I get like I think it's funny when people think like, oh, in order to get that physique, you just have to do like yoga. That's a yoga physique. And I'm like,
yeah,
I wish it was that easy.
Yeah, people,
it's not that easy.
People just weren't around. They don't understand. I was like, and it's funny. I did a video and I was like, the same issues that we have now we had then. It's just there's just less people now. That's really the only difference. Like now we have a smaller pool of people who need to put on more muscle. Back then we had a larger pool of people and everyone still needed to put on more muscle. I was
one of them.
Yeah, they got off stage and then the judge was like, yeah, you just need more of this.
That was me.
It wasn't like I would, and I'd have, back then things are a lot different than they used to be too. So back then there wasn't much internet coaching. I was like one of the first guys like online coaching, which was like in 2012. There wasn't many of us, right? It was like very few of us. Mostly everything was internal, like at your local place. So in Denver, I'd have like 20 people at a show. I remember those shows, 20, 25 people like at a show because you only had local people. So you had, you'd fill up one show, whatever. So when we would get done with show, it's not like I would walk off stage with, 20 girls and then the judge's feedback was like, yeah, all of them are good. They don't need any muscle. Like literally every one of the 20 girls was like, they need more of this. They need more of that. They need more of that. And we had a laundry list of things that we needed to work on from the judges, just like we do now. Like, I think people are thinking it's like, oh yeah, it's just, she works out. She's capped out bikini or she's capped out fit model. And a lot of these girls, and I have some unfortunate news for you guys. A lot of you who have not capped out bikini are probably still not capping out fit model. Like most of you are not capping out fit model. I have a lot of athletes myself that I take great pride in and do their workout plans and have worked with them for, over a year. And they're open-minded and they're like, do I fit more fit model? And I'm like, hey, there's a couple of them. I'm like, your shoulders are borderline, but your lower body still needs more muscle to get to fit model cap out. Like probably if you want to do fit model, we still got to grow your legs. Like, and they were training for a bikini, so that's going to be most people's division. They just don't, it feels like a step back, but it's not. It's essentially, and I think like people think this is a new division, which it technically is, but really the new division is bikini because it changed from fit model over the last like 4 years so much, right? So it's like, you could make that argument too. So it's not technically new. It's new by name, but it's actually the same thing it used to be. It's a weird thing. So people are like, it's new. And I'm like, no, we never downgraded the amount of muscle. It just went back to the same. And now you have like a split division between the two. It's really what it is. So.
Yeah. It's definitely not an insult, I would say, to the girls that are thinking it's step back, or maybe it's just like an ego thing. But it's definitely, I wouldn't take it as an insult, like, because there's other, I think, factors that you could look at a girl and be like, oh, you would make a great fit model. And the other things that you'd never mentioned are like the not muscular things, that
Yeah.
maybe someone actually looks like a legit beauty queen, has a structure that's like super small waist, and maybe more like of an ectomorphic, of course, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like you're less than or less important or not as good. That is not what it means. Because I certainly don't think like, oh, just because I don't look like a figure competitor, I'm less than a figure, I'm less important or not as good at. I don't see myself that way. So you guys shouldn't see yourself that way either. Like I wouldn't get offended or insulted by that statement at all. I would take it as a compliment. And yeah, because just keep in mind, like we mentioned the last time, this division is going to weigh very heavily on stage presence, skin condition, beauty, stuff like that, hair, makeup. That's going to be more important in this new division than any other division. So I would take that as a compliment, honestly.
Yeah. And it's going to be super marketable division too. So yeah, so that's a big thing for the end of the year recap. And there's so many, cool things, but
that was like a future recap. Not even well, end of the year recap.
Isn't it? It's a weird
it's like happened at the end of the year. So
yeah, it's an end of year, it's a future, it's a throwback, right? It's everything.
A throwback.
Right. And then I want to say something too. And this is for you. I don't even know if you'll love this comment or not, Ashley, but I want to throw it out there.
I'm not doing fit model.
No,
I'm not. It's too late for me.
Yeah. For all of you who said Ashley hasn't put on any muscle and she looks the same.
Yes.
I really want to take this moment to rub this in your face.
Rub
with a sandpaper rub in your face, because not only has she put on muscle, but she's okay. You can argue that Laura Lee's the criteria for bikini. She's number 2 in the criteria for bikini as bikini right now. Number 2 in the world, number 1 in America, number 1 American born. So you would technically say, okay, Ashley, Laura Lee, right, are the criteria for bikini right now, but she's also the criteria for fit model. So if she didn't put on any muscle since fit model, which some of you have said since her original bikini, some of you blind people have said, then how could you create 2 divisions using the same person, right? If she hasn't put on any muscle. So either you're crazy or you're wrong. It's one of the 2.
And shout out to Joni. I know she listens to this. Shout out. She's the one that pointed it out. I reposted on my story like last month, but she pointed out, she's like, wait a minute. So if after every Olympia, Ashley hears she looks the same as when she started, she hasn't changed, then why did they create a new division and use her as an example, yet she's number 2 in the world? So it doesn't make sense. She pointed out, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's must be the suit. Either that or it's so it's either green, it's got a green suit, she's the same. Yeah. Or what is it? The like almost like the wanting to convince yourself that I didn't change because you're a little stubborn to accept
it was really obvious. And some people were like, oh, well, it's just the posing that's changed. And they're like, saying, oh, this bikini hasn't really changed that much. Ashley looks pretty much the same. Just posing's different. I'm like, guys, I've been doing this literally my whole life. I could tell you ounce for ounce of how much muscle has changed per year. Like I could tell you everything and every person who changed each specific thing in bikini, when it was like lats with Issa the year, or tie-ins with Janet that year, or conditioning with the Issa one year. Like all these things change, like, and there's a little knot and a little notch, and it got a little harder and a little more, and a little more. I can tell you every single year of evolution what happened. Like this is what I do, right? Like it's literally what I do. So like, okay, you guys saying that she didn't put on any muscle, like I'm so happy to they used your pictures. I'm like such a rub in your face. Oh, they just diet too long. They diet too hard. She can never put on any muscle. Guys, it's been since 2017 we've been doing it like this, exactly like this, and now there's a new division created around it. Like, I'm so sorry I'm sorry I failed you and it didn't work, and you didn't put on any muscles in the last, what is it? It's 8 years, right? Oh God, that feels so good.
I know.
I just want to get that off. I want to. It feels good. I'm gonna bathe in the tears of them trying to bring you down. It was great.
It's amazing. I will say it's quite satisfying after every Olympia, because we always get that. Oh, she's so unhealthy because she keeps it tighter in the off season, and I'm not even that like crazy lean in the off season. Like I'm really not. But they always will say, because I compete often and
can't put on any muscle.
Can't put on muscle, and I'm doing better every year. So yeah.
They literally created a division based on your old physique, but you haven't put on any more muscle. Oh, it feels so good. I know that wasn't planned, but
Sorry,
but
yeah.
thank you, Tyler, for putting us those pictures. Like, thank you for using those ones. It made everything so much better. It was so great. Thank you for that. So it was,
And I'm still here,
still
here.
here, still growing,
Still
so, well, I guess you're not
here.
growing still. You haven't grown.
Still healthy. I would like to say I'm still healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, probably more so than the average.
Yeah. I mean, we run your health checks all the
Definitely
time.
more so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're pretty healthy. You're healthy as a horse. The last time we checked all your stuff. So
Good.
yeah.
So you're telling me that keeping it a little bit tighter is better than going like crazy and putting on 50 plus unnecessary in the off season.
Yeah.
That you're saying the way I'm doing it is healthier. That's crazy.
Yeah. We have data to prove this. Can you imagine what a
Oh
crazy,
my God.
it has been a crazy real life long-term test, right? But it's worked out very well. And you can put on muscle, so what a great, okay. We'll leave it alone. We'll stop. I had to take that minute, rub it in. Okay. Positive out of back. I had to rub it in. All of it, all that stuff we hear it all the time for so long. It was great. This is a great time. So what else happened this year, Ashley?
Well, the year started out a little bit rocky, I would say. Well, not. I started with an eye surgery, right? So if you guys remember, I got strabismus eye surgery to correct my double vision. Okay. So I've had this surgery before in 2020. It recessed and I was back to the double, but luckily only one eye this time. And it's still doing good. So hopefully it stays good. So I started my year off with the eye surgery. I did not do the Arnold Classic, if you guys remember. And I was super bummed about that. And I felt like I was missing out. But kind of turns out that was a good, I guess, strategy for my season to go into, because I had that eye surgery. It kind of forced me into like an off season. And I got to recharge my battery a little bit and came into the first show, the Girl Power in April, the Clash series Girl Power. Remember that one?
Yeah.
In April. I think it was April 26th, right? End of April. That was my first show of the year. And I was so nervous for this one, more so than any, but so excited at the same time. And the reason being is, well, I took time off and I wasn't sure. So I was like, I definitely want to get back on stage. I'm so anxious to get back on stage, but it's been to me so long. Like, what if I'm not as good as I was before? I had these thoughts in my mind and I was just like, what's going to happen? Because that first show of the year is always like that. Like, because it's almost like a little reset, right? It's like a lot of things can happen between last season and this, like training, things like that. So, going into that one, I was extra because it was more. So, like I said, and I had a lot of downtime from the surgery. So much downtime, right? And there was times I wasn't, like weeks or so, I wasn't even working out that much. And it turned out to be a good show for me because I won. But I will say my first show of the year, I was a little too soft, and I saw it when I saw the pictures, but it was good enough for a W. So my feedback for that show was just bring it in tighter next time. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And you were there for the Girl Power too.
Girl Power. Yeah.
Yes. So I did that. I came in tighter for the next one, which was the Pittsburgh Pro. And that was actually like Tyler's favorite look of me. So that was, I guess, my best look of ever from what I'm told. So that one, I definitely want to try to repeat that look. Although I did come in similar, I think, throughout the year in a few shows, right?
Yeah. He liked Japan a lot.
He liked Japan. I think my favorite look, my favorite like physique look would be Japan this year. This year's Japan. I had the red suit, the straight hair. Remember, I sent you that picture.
Yeah.
So that one would have been my favorite physique of the year, I would say. I was super like juicy and full. And yeah, so that was my favorite physique look, but it wasn't like my favorite overall, I guess, package, So yeah, what about you? What are your thoughts leading up into this year? So
yeah, well,
favorite looks, least favorite.
Yeah, I do think, it's hard to go with pictures, but I do really like the Japan look. I really did like your Olympia look too. You're full and round is what they're asking for all year too. And so, yeah, I mean, it's up there. I don't think that, the whole Olympia thing is really is hard to top for me because of the whole of everything that went down there and how it happened and how the day went and how the results went. So that is definitely up there for me too. So yeah, I would say that Japan. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of your looks I really did like, and what I liked about this year too is that you were willing to push that fullness and you're willing to try those things, and and that's the thing is the problem when you do things and when other people do things is that it's such a bigger spotlight, and it's like, are you a jerk or are you a genius? Every time you try something new, it's like, and what sucks is it's when you compete, it's similar to like a great boxer when he competes, right? When he loses, like, oh my gosh, it's like, dude, he had an off day. It's fine. Like, he's still like legit. He's still like the best guy in the world. It's like, oh my gosh, it's such a thing. But so it's harder for you to be able to take those risks. So I really do appreciate that you were willing to try those things this year, because I understand it's so much harder for someone like you than it is for other people, because you don't get a chance to do trial runs. Like, it's just spotlight always all the time. So it must kind of weigh on you a little bit.
It does. It's like I always say, the burden of expectation. The only disadvantage of ever doing well is now people will forever hold you to that standard. And if you don't, it's like, oh, what happened? Yeah. It was quite the year. How many shows did I compete in? 10 shows, I think.
I'd have to write them all down.
It's about 10, maybe 11, 10. Yeah, I think it was 10.
I'd have to write it all down. Quite a few.
Yeah. So
you're a busy bee, man.
I was a busy bee. And I'll be honest, the year as a whole, I would say, was a good year.
Yeah.
Towards the end, though, after Olympia, it's I feel like I let myself down a little bit after Olympia.
Well, you took a really hard route. You really burned yourself out with going to Kazakhstan. It was a time change wise.
So yes. All right. After Olympia, I think it was a month after Olympia. So it was November 2nd. So 3 weeks after Olympia, I went to Kazakhstan, which, went well. When I competed, I won the show. I got my 50th win. So I achieved that goal. So yay for that. And I will say Kazakhstan was probably my favorite, like hair, makeup, suit look. Okay. So if Japan was my favorite physique, I will say Kazakhstan's favorite hair, makeup, suit, like the girly things. But anyway, I was on cloud nine. I got the dub there, but after, I still leading up to that show, right? I landed in Kazakhstan like 3 days before, I think. Couldn't sleep. All right. So I was like, oh, I'm bound to sleep eventually. There's only so many days I can go with like 2 hours of sleep or no sleep. Like, it's got to at some point come crashing, and I'll get like one night of good sleep and I'll be ready for, the next show. And didn't happen. So my whole entire stay in Kazakhstan could not sleep very well at all. Couldn't get a schedule down. So after my Kazakhstan trip, I was scheduled to go to UK. And then after the UK, I was supposed to go to Romania, right? Because I'm in the neighborhood. I was in UK to do a few seminars. So I went from Kazakhstan to UK. And when I was in UK, I still could not sleep. I couldn't sleep anywhere. I couldn't sleep in Kazakhstan. I couldn't sleep on the plane. I just could not sleep. And I was starting to really feel like crap. And when I talked to you on the phone, when we were deciding, I just couldn't sleep, and it caused me to get kind of sick. So I was like sick during my trip there in the UK. And anyway, we called, and it just wasn't going to happen. I couldn't do Romania. I was sick. I couldn't sleep. I was not feeling good. When you're not sleeping, who knows what the physique's going to look like? Who knows what the sickness is going to take on your body? It was just too much of a risk. So last minute decision in the UK not to do Romania. So canceled my flights to Romania and just went home instead. But after I got home, I was like, oh, I can still compete. Like, I still want to compete, right? I took a week and a half off from the gym because I was sick, and even coming back home, I was trying to get like on a good schedule for training and sleep, and I just, for the life of me, couldn't. And that was disappointing because I wanted to.
Yeah,
I really wanted to.
People don't get that you have the itch still. Like, people don't get it. People don't get like this one for me too was really eye-opening for me about you on that? Because I was like, okay, I know Ashley. I know her, like she's like my sister. I get her. I see her every day. Like I know how dedicated she is. That's one thing, right? And then when we got to this goal of 50, um, I wasn't like everyone else where I was like, oh well, she's gonna just like chill now. I didn't think that, but I thought that you would be like, okay, now I'll just wait till next season and start going again. Like I did think that there was gonna be a party that I did this, I accomplished the goal, but people don't get it. That was one time where I was like surprised by how dedicated you were. I was like, even talking to Kimber about, I was like, yeah, she wants to jump right back in there. Like the 50s, like it means something to her, but it's like
Doesn't mean it's stopping you.
yeah, it was like it didn't even hold the thought of doing another show. Like everyone else, I think would just, and I think honestly, I just kind of the whole year we're going after that. I was thinking, oh yeah, she'll probably just like, get to 50, be like, okay, cool. Next year we'll, but you were like, okay, got 50. Now let's go to 51.
Yeah,
it was like,
it's better than 50, 51.
It's like literally like an hour later. I was like, you're on a next level of like, it's something. I'm a pretty dedicated guy, but I think it's past the level where I'm even like used to, right? Like, well, it's a different thing for you, which is cool. It's really admirable. No one gets to where you're at without it being that thing for them, where it looks like where people who don't see it will say you're crazy and you'll say you're passionate type of thing, where people will say that, right? What's that? What do they say that passion or dedication is what the lazy people call
I know
crazy or something like that, right?
Yes.
So, or obsession is what lazy people call dedicated, is what it is. So that's kind of like one of those scenarios where I saw it in real life. I was like, yeah, I could see people saying that, but they don't get the dedication and like the drive that it gives you. So that was pretty cool to see for this year for you. It was like, whoa, this girl's like an animal, she is next freaking level,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In order to be great, you have to do things that other people are not willing to do. So that when other people think it's time to relax, that's my time to put the pedal to the metal. When they think I'm going to relax, that's when I go hard.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But all that to say, I was like, okay, that sucks. I didn't get to do Romania, which I wanted to do so bad because I did it in 2020, I think, right? Or 2021, one of those years. No, 2021, sorry. 21. And that was my 30th win, right? I got it at Romania. I love that show. It's such a good show. It's epic. The stage is great. It's like such an amazing experience. I was bummed I didn't get to do it. Okay. But I was like, oh, well, I'll just go home, let this illness pass, get my sleeping back on schedule, and I will, do one towards the end of the year. I was thinking about doing India or Taiwan, one of those, the last show of the year, the one that just happened like last weekend. I wanted to do one of those, and I was like, all right, cool. And I just couldn't get in the zone. I got like 90% in the zone. I couldn't get 100% in the zone. And it was more of like an intensity thing. And I was just like, I was so in my head too, because I was just like, oh, well, I already took like a week and a half off from being sick, and now I got to retrain. Am I going to be ready? And honestly, looking back, I was definitely really in my head. I was way too back and forth when I should have just had the confidence and been like, no, I can still do this. Like, I don't know. It was so unlike me. After I got back home, I was just like so like thrown off and disappointed at myself that I wasn't able to do that show. And I was like, and I know this sounds crazy, and I know what I would tell you if you said this to me, but I was almost like punishing myself for getting sick. Like I was like, why did I have to get sick? Why did I have to, like, what? I could still compete it even if I was sick. Like in hindsight, yeah, I probably could have, because I don't think my physique took that big of a toll when the show day would have come, but I wouldn't have known that. It's kind of like one of those things that like you always say, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but you don't really know. Like you don't know. So yeah, I was just frustrated with myself and disappointed with myself. And I feel like it's not that I didn't do good this year. It's just I could have done more. I think that's what it was. It's not, I know I did amazing. I did great. I did probably better than I thought I could, but I still could have done more. And that's what bothers me. I could have done more. That just all the travel thing too really like scared me away from like wanting to compete again. So the only shows left that were at the end of the year were either in Taiwan or India. And I was just like, oh my God, I just came back from a trip that I couldn't sleep. And I was just like, and India, I wanted to do that show, but it was like almost the same time zone as Kazakhstan. And I was like, do I really want to go all the way back there and just like redo the misery of not sleeping for a week? I was in my head, and it was unlike me, I think.
Yeah, that was one of the only times I've seen you back and forth so much on
I'm
that.
so
It was
back
like
and forth.
Monday, yes. It wasn't even like Monday, yes, but it was like
by the hour.
yeah, it was like yeah, it was by the hour. I get a hand. I don't know the travel. Like it was.
And then trying to find someone to go with. I was going to go with someone, and it was like going to be a girls' trip. It was going to be fun, and then she couldn't go, and then I was like, oh, this became less like going to India by yourself is a little hard. Okay, I can go to Texas by myself. I can go to Florida by myself. You know, I can go to Europe by myself, right? India by yourself, it's tough.
It's a tough one.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And it's even like those things that you don't even think about. Like, for example, even when I was in like Japan, I had all these like stuff to bring home with me after, like, because they gave me a lot of prizes and stuff, like, and bringing it back to the hotel. Not even just like for things like that, but I just use that as an example. There's like a lot of things with the international travel that you don't expect to be like an issue or a difficulty until you're there and you're like, oh, I could really use someone else to come with me to help me here. So a little disappointed at myself for that, just because I know I could have done more. And I'm disappointed that I allowed myself to like kind of get into that unconfident mindset of like uncertainty when I should have just been like, nah, I can do this. I've done this so many times before. Who cares if I have to go by myself? I'll go. I'll do it. Like I've done it before. I could do it. I don't know why I let that get to me so much, but I did. So disappointed. And I know that sounds crazy because I wouldn't tell you that. If roles were reversed,
Yeah.
I know I'm sounding crazy, but it's just an itch that I need to scratch. So
yeah. Well, hey, we got this new season coming up. We'll get you back out there, and then you'll have a fun run. You know, you'll have a fun run
I know.
next year. I think you did great. Yeah, I think you did great. I get it though. You left. It's strange from my position because if anyone got close to that, like let's say someone got 50% of what you did, any one of my other athletes got 50% of what you did, I'd be like, dude, you kicked ass this year.
Yeah.
You crushed it. So proud of you, you know? And then you double that. I'm like, yeah, like one, I'm proud of you because it's crazy what you did.
Thank
But it's
you.
like, I get what you're saying and I know what your mindset's at. And yeah, you probably could have done a couple more shows, but it was so damn good. Like it was better than anyone else.
It was
It's
good, but it could have been better.
it's most wins of anyone this year, right?
I don't know.
think
I could
so.
have done better though. I could have done
Yeah.
I could have done more. That's all I have to say. I
Well,
left some left on the table, right?
I'm sure that the IFBB, they really appreciate you putting out the effort that you do. And, you know, a lot of these athletes don't get on stage that often, and no knock at you athletes who don't get on stage that often. It's more so like some of them can't, you know,
Yeah.
they're just not, they don't have the body type that can stay lean on
Or career or finances.
Yeah.
I know I'm lucky. And that's another thing too. Every time I feel myself getting like into this disappointed mindset, I'm like, you know what? Hey, you did better than you thought you could, even though you could have done more. Still, at the end of the day, you've accomplished all this. And even going beyond that, you're in a position where you can't do that. So that in itself is pretty cool. And I think anytime we start to get in that disappointed mindset, just think about like, I always say, take the zoomed out perspective, right? So if I'm going to take a zoomed out perspective on my life, I'm going to be like, you know what? Could have done better this year. Maybe I could have done a few more shows, but at the end of the day, still did really good. I was able to do that. My body held up nicely. I'm in a position where in life where I can afford to do this. I have sponsors that are very generous to me. I have a good life. I have a good home. I'm secure. I'm safe and healthy. So what more can you ask for at the end of the day, you know? So sometimes we have to do that because if we're going to be all deep and stuff, it's a show, right? Or if you didn't do as well at the show that you wanted to do well at, take another zoomed out perspective, and your zoomed out perspective isn't going to look like mine, but it's still going to be zoomed out, right? Think like, oh, you made your daughter proud. You got to be a good example. You lost the 20 pounds that you never thought you could. So take that zoomed out perspective. Sometimes we need to do that. And because we get so hyper focused on this certain specific goal, you know?
Yeah. I like that. See, you need more of that.
Yeah.
You do. You crushed it. I mean, you really did.
Yeah. I will say though.
Here we go. This is my days, guys. This is my days right there.
One last thing that like I guess was like a little bit of a disappointment for that is because I really wanted to burn myself out.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't because I feel like I could compete tomorrow.
Yeah.
I feel like I could compete tomorrow. And I Yeah, I wanted to burn myself out because I'm not doing the Arnold. If you guys notice, I'm not on the Arnold list. That is not because I wasn't accepted. I didn't even submit. So for the Arnold, you have to put in a request to be invited, and I did not. I chose not to. Amongst some of the other top athletes, every year there's a, everyone does the Olympia, but I want to say like probably like 60% of the top Olympians will do the Arnold. So it's not as a lot of people use this as an off season, and that's kind of like what I'm doing, I guess. I'm recharging my battery for now, but the goal is to kind of repeat the same. I did really like how I started my season in the summer this year.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to recreate that because I think we're onto something.
Yeah.
It worked well for me. And I guess it makes sense for someone that competes frequently like myself to start your season more in the summer because that's when all the shows are happening. So in the wintertime, you have the Arnold, and it's kind of like the outlier because it's like the Arnold, gap, few months gap till like May.
Yeah.
And then shows will start to like really happen again. Not to say that there's not like one show here and there, but you'll notice if you look at the lists that like during the summertime, you'll see like, oh, there's like 3 shows per weekend. So instead of doing like starting my season where there's like, oh, one show like a month every 2 months that I could do, I think it makes more sense just to for this year. Let's try to start it in the summer. So maybe that June date we're looking at, perhaps maybe a little bit sooner. I don't know. Maybe a little bit later. I don't know. Somewhere in that general time frame, I think would be good for me. So we're trying it again this year or next year, I should say, and see how that works for me. We'll see how that works.
Yeah, well, it's going to be exciting year. That's for sure. With everything going on, I'm really curious to see, how the pro shows go this year too. I know that there's a lot of people I've had, more people, because you asked me this or just like mentioned it one time to me too. They were thinking, oh, maybe the fit model division will have impact on how the bikini look if it's going to continue to evolve or something like that too. So I've talked to judges and everyone's like, no, they're as far as we're concerned, it's capped out at this point.
I hope not, because I can't. It's really hard for me to get any bigger.
Yeah. Well, I've talked to quite a few judges. I was like, is this gonna? Because I thought at the time I was like, no, there's no way. I was like, well, maybe it would kind of open up the cap, right? Like, but I've talked to quite a few judges, and they're like, no, we have no intentions of it ever getting more muscular than it is now. Like, it's
thank goodness, because I can't. More muscle is going to be really hard. Gosh, It took me 10 years to get this far. I can get leaner though. If it got leaner, I'd be okay with it just for my own selfish reasons. Cause like I can get leaner and I look good lean, I think. But more muscle, let's not do that. Let's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's for me.
So, and then, so this year, I mean, it's going to be a fun year. I mean, really, really fun year. Gosh, I'm like excited, excited for it. Like just thinking all the time nonstop about, the year and getting set up for it.
Yeah, I'm excited, but honestly, I'm already like, I have so many seminars already booked that I'm like, oof, I might need to like, if I'm planning on competing in June, I might need to like start to chill out.
Yeah.
I've already got so many booked, including one in Slovakia. So I'll be going to Slovakia in March. But yeah, a lot of seminars. I'll be doing a lot of them, which is another reason why probably doing the Arnold isn't a good idea for this upcoming years, because I don't even think I could prep properly with all these seminars.
Yeah.
I have a lot, which is a good thing. It's good to be busy.
We have to tell people about the Orlando one, just to give them a reminder too.
Oh yes, the women's seminar. It's coming up here, January 25th, Orlando, Florida. I will be there. Adam?
I probably won't be Orlando. I saw that it was in Orlando, and I was like, I hate that airport. Yeah, I probably won't be that one.
But
I love Orlando though. Just the airport is like, man, the airport that Orlando, because it's a kid airport. It's a bunch of like, you fly in, it's like family airport, so it's like it's a lot.
It's the airport, guys.
A lot, you know.
It's the airport.
It's a lot. That airport's a lot.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people wish you would change your mind, but.
Well, I will have a lot of seminars though this year. I will be at a lot. I want to, I want to be in Texas. I have a few requests for Texas. Obviously we're going to Utah. I had another one for California. So a lot of the states around here too. I think Arizona could be one too, but there's going to be a lot. So, and plus I guess we're going to have a bunch here now too, which I wasn't expecting until Fit Model came out. I was expecting to just keep them for our team now and just do this. But I guess we'll just see how the volume goes with it.
Yeah.
It might have to go back to I don't think it'll go weekly, but maybe every other week or something. I mean, we're getting 20 plus girls showing up for these bikini seminars. Like, I guess we'll see. The volume will dictate it. It might be busy. It's going to be fun though.
Be a crazy
a good
year,
busy,
guys.
a
It's
good
gonna be
busy.
crazy year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
I
many
can't
girls are
wait.
coming back. You know what's crazy too? Like, just as an example, I mean, I had a couple pros that were, just getting outsized and they couldn't keep up, and they're already messaging me too. What do you think about me doing the fit model? But they can't compete until 2026 as a pro. So I don't know how that'll even work. Yeah, I had to ask actually about if their pro card would still apply to that, or if they go down to it, or what. I'm pretty sure it would be the same, but we'll see.
I don't know. I think there's still like so many questions
Yeah.
that need to be answered, and it's because it's still so new. So if you guys are privy to this on NBC News Online, that is where the fit model division rules and criteria will be found. The update that I notice like every few days or maybe once a week, I'm not sure. So it looks like they're still like developing that criteria. They're adding on to it. So, every time I check back, I see just like a little more precise information. From the last update, from what I'm understanding, they're allowing the scrunch butts of the suits. 50% coverage would be the moderate. So this is more information that we're getting, but it's starting to trickle in more and more. So if you guys are confused, you're not alone. I think a lot of people are. It's still so new, but seminars. The women's seminar, I bet you they're going to make a lot of information available for that. So
usually it's funny. Usually I'm at a seminar and I'm like, repeat of everything I know. I'll probably talk about,
you might learn something on
this is what I'm going to with like a notepad. I'm like, okay, what do I need to know? This is pretty cool. So
yeah. I want to become like an expert in this, because it's like kind of fun for me, because I think I could really, I could be very helpful in this division, because like I was the previous reference. So it's like, I know how I trained and how I dieted to get that physique, right? So I think I can be very helpful for this one, and posing too, because I did the posing, which, by the way, the poses, the front and the back poses, we know what those are. But for the routine, there's a brief description in the routine. But if you see old videos of me posing, right, just know it doesn't have to be like that. I was super like bouncy and like energetic and like a cheerleader, like that is not in the criteria. So if somebody's posting a video of that, that's not exactly what they're looking for. It's just
that was the style.
That was the style. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that style translates to now. Okay. The poses do, right? The front and the back, but not necessarily the style of like posing and stuff. Cause it's hard to watch. It's a little cringe. Sorry guys. It's very cringe.
Yeah, well, that's how it was back then.
Everyone did that.
It's how it was.
And the steps were very like marchy, like big steps, right? Not like you don't see like this like sultry like slow walk. You used to see like these bouncy. Marchy, bouncy, like look at me, guys, I'm having fun.
Yeah, I remember posing seminars back then too. You would tell girls, have a little more pop to your steps, like have a little more spunk to your steps. Like we're like, it was like
to your step.
It was like a thing. It's pretty funny.
So you don't have to do that. Just so you guys know, that's just, again, people are taking so literally when they see the photo or previous videos. That's not to the T, right? Yeah. It's an example, but not like to the T. We don't have to bring back the bouncies. I mean, you can if you want. You can if you want.
We'll see where it goes. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll be the bouncy division. Who knows?
Bouncy division. What if it starts to trickle up again?
Trickle up?
Then I have to do my bouncies in bikini now.
You never know. Hey, you know what? I would like to say it's probably never going to happen, but you know what I mean?
You never know.
These things change halfway in the year, like we're like, oh, this is what it's going to be this year. And all of a sudden August hits and everyone's doing something different. Like it's crazy, how the divisions always change. That's why you got to always be, if you're coaching or an athlete, like you got to be paying attention at what's happening at the shows, because it changes just out of nowhere. It just changes, So, and it's not the judges saying, hey, we want you to do this now. It's just something starts trending. A couple of people do it. They win a couple shows. Next thing you know, 8 out of 10 girls are doing it. And then you're like, whoa, when did that even happen? Yes. And then that's like the new comparison standard.
That brings up a good point from the text I sent you yesterday. So in the rules, they added this. So I just want to highlight this. Okay. It says something to the tune of, when you're doing your presentation, do not touch yourself. Do not grab yourself. No lewd acts will be permitted. So can we please not do that? No touchy touchies. Because that that was a thing like a few years ago in bikini. I don't know how it happened, but in bikini and wellness, girls started touching themselves, touching their butts, doing the booty swipes. I don't see it as much anymore. And just to clarify, I'm not referencing anyone specific because to be fair, most people did do it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So no touchy touchies, no butt swipes, no caressing your fingers up your waistline.
Yeah.
None of that. None of that.
In the rules. In the rules. I will say we've been doing pretty good at keeping up with things before their rules.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Get your info here, guys.
Yeah.
We called that out over a year ago.
Oh,
we were like,
when bikini girls started doing that, I
like,
hated it so much. I'm like, what is this? When did this start?
That was something I talked to the judges about. I was like, do you guys like this? Like, does that?
They all said no.
Yeah. I was like, is this something like, I'm like, is this something like
a thing?
Don't you think it's a little much for, like family shows here? Like, it's like we're already getting, the suits are getting pretty small. Now we're doing this too now. Like, well, what point are we like crossing the line? And the judge was like, yeah, you're right, huh? I was like, yeah, it's a lot, man. Like,
yeah,
if I don't want to be like, if I'm like a dad watching my daughter compete, like that's not what I want to be seeing at shows, So it's so anyway, but every judge I asked, they were like, yeah, I don't know when.
And then started. They started to sing that at the seminars too, just to stop doing that.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad that they're
yes.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Look at us. We're doing pretty good with we're noticing.
And I'm sure a lot of people didn't like it either. But
yeah. I'm glad they made it a rule. That's good. Good for them. IFBB is doing a good job, man.
I'm very happy.
I'm happy with them. They're looking at the organization, looking at,
creating
potential divisions, opportunities,
for
all that.
These. And something that I've noticed that's available now that wasn't as prevalent back in the day. So many more seminars these days than when I was first competing. Not to say that there wasn't, but it was more like maybe like twice a year I would, go to a seminar or whatever. I would get booked for them, but it would be international. So I used to live out of a suitcase back in the day, and I would do like international seminars and go to country. But as far as like accessible seminars, like we have here in the States, like for example, here in Nevada, I'm going to say like, there's guaranteed like at least one seminar a month, right? That's pretty safe to say, whether it be from Team Elite Physique or any other ones, because they have them all over the place here. Like we're going to one on January 11th here in Vegas. But that wasn't really as big of a thing when I was first competing. So I think it's really cool that the NPC and IFBB have like created these seminars, and they make it really easy and accessible for the athletes to either attend or watch like maybe a summary online. But NPC News Online has all like updates, their YouTube channel. You have all this information for you, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, I just want to give a shout out because I know that it's like not easy to go out of your way to create these seminars, but they're literally making it as easy as they possibly can for the athletes to be the best they can be.
Yeah. And I think
so there's no excuses.
When I was in California, there wasn't like any actually. Yeah. And then when I went to Denver, the fitness community in Denver was still one of the better ones, but Armbrust Pro Gym had theirs they had a full set posing seminar every weekend. They still will have it during like season, guys. So if you're in Denver, they have that. And they were like one of the first people who started doing that every weekend. And I did it because they were doing it too. So I did just bikini and men's physique posing back then, but we were on the other side of town too. So we started it because of their lead on that, but we did it every weekend for a decade. So Denver's always been kind of a hot spot. There's always something going on there for that. But if you guys are in Denver, shout out to Armbrust Pro Gym, Dylan Armbrust.
I love that gym.
Yeah. You know what? I had an office there for a while. It's an awesome culture there, but they do have those too if you're in Denver. So I don't know if it's a head posing coach. I was a head posing coach for a little while there, but then Waddy was for a long time too. I think Waddy's still there now, but awesome guy. If you guys are there, and you'll learn a lot. So, and he knows that posing because he did it too back then. Back in 2015, we were both 2012 and 15, we were both all young and all fighting each other for for the local market. It was so funny. We're all old now and it's different. We're all just it's such a fun thing to see how it's come full circle. So
definitely.
Yeah.
So let's go over briefly like what we've been up to since our season ended, right? Well, for me, when I got sick after Kazakhstan, that was like a week of a deload, unintentional. It was just a sick deload. Not going to work out when I'm sick. Kind of productive. but I ended up taking another one. So I took another one. Since competing, I've taken probably in total like 2 weeks or so off, broken up a little bit, but yeah. And just for a diet, just kind of still keeping it, healthy. I have not been super hungry though, which is crazy because usually after a show, people are quite hungry. I mean, I wasn't really. So in this last week or so, haven't really been super duper hungry. And I think that's because I haven't been lifting super intensely. After taking a little bit of a deload, of course, the body probably doesn't demand as much calories. So that's my best guess. But I haven't really been having any bad cravings or anything like that. So
that's good. You got through the initial bump of post show
cravings.
Most people, if you can make it through the first couple of weeks, then you're gonna be just fine. It's usually that's where it is.
That's when the worst is, like after.
Yeah, if you don't make it through the first week or 2 weeks where you're just like gorging on food, it'll probably last a couple of months if you don't, But if you make it through those first like 2-3 weeks and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna. Then after that, it's like, okay, I'm back to normal again. Yeah. I'm like, I feel fine. So you're over the hump, over that hump. But one thing you mentioned was the deload. One thing that for the audience, right? We call that a indirect deload. And it's, you're going to have deloads. You're going to need them every now and then when your body's beat up. But if you just happen to be sick or something and you take a week off because of it, you just use that as your deload that you use for every,
what a waste of a deload.
I
was miserable.
Indirect deload, but your body's still recovering. Your nervous system's recovering. Your muscles are recovering. So you feel good again, feel fresh again. And then there you go. That's your deload for however, if it takes you 4 months for a deload, 2 months for a deload, a year for a deload, that's your deload. And then you just go start fresh again. So
I feel fresh right now.
Yeah.
I'm ready to work out intensely again because after I was like disappointed I didn't compete and I was sad. I was like, I was still working out, but I wasn't like killing it in the gym. But I'm ready to kill it again.
Yeah, everyone needs that. Kill it. Everyone needs that purpose to work out, right? They need that like timeline, that time-based deadline, and that's when when people are most dedicated is when they have a show deadline. I always say that there's like two things that I always have people stay dedicated to, and the number one thing is actually a wedding. That's always the number one thing. No one ever cheats on anything at the wedding. Maybe the last week before because it gets crazy. But when they have a wedding and that's their deadline, I just want to transform and look good for my wedding. It's like, because it's like the most important show, right? It's like, that's like Olympia level prep. They don't mess up. I'm like, oh, great. You're doing a wedding. This is awesome. You're going to be dedicated to your plan. And then when they have like their first show is always like really dedicated to, and then you'll get some that have done like 10 shows and it's like, they might have one or two that's not as great. But the first couple shows, the wedding, those were like, oh, they're dedicated. So, I wanted to give out one shout out too. Tori. Shout out to Tori. So Tori, if you guys know, if you've been following for a while, Tori was the first coach I brought on, and she had her 10-year anniversary.
Wow!
10 years working for Team Elite Physique. I don't know how she made it with me over the last 10 years, but she did. Awesome. And she's actually someone who started off in bikini. Division got too big for her, and now she's actually going to be making a comeback to the stage in fit model. So it's a perfect example of like the story. Like, so
it's a fire.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, she's one of the ones that is I just did a video with her on YouTube showing like the fit model posing versus bikini. She always does a lot of posing. She has her own posing business that she does on the side. That way you can like purchase for like an online business where you can just purchase for videos and stuff. So, so awesome girl, but 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. And she's going back to fit model. So it's just such a cool
That is
thing.
So cool.
It gives people like that opportunity, where she's always fit, but she's like, I don't want to, like, I'd have to dedicate like 2 years full on everything to be ready for bikini. And I just don't want to do that now because I'm training and coaching so much. I just don't have that in me, but she's still always really fit. But so this gives her like, hey, I can focus for 16 weeks, really go after it hard. I'm still fit and I just need to get in a little better shape, get into fit model, have fun with it, that type of thing. So it's just cool to see it actually happen in like real life, So
absolutely. That is, it's really incredible how many people are just motivated once again. So anytime we can get people to be healthier and to, find passion in something, that's great, so I'm for it. I probably wasn't a few years ago or last year, whatever. I'm for it.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that we're able to, our sport is growing. That's all I'm happy about. Right. So at the end of the day, it helps everyone. And it even helps more people than what we realize too, because more people will want to be a part of this new division that would never have done such a thing, and they're going to be healthier and happier for it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool if you think
sure.
about it.
Yeah. All right, guys. I guess with that, we'll wish you a happy new year because it's
We will
tomorrow.
see you. And no, it's not.
Well, tomorrow's New Year's Eve, I guess. Yeah.
Whatever. It's on Wednesday.
You're right. It's Wednesday. You are right. Technically. I was thinking tomorrow we'll stay up, but yeah.
But we'll see you guys in like 2025.
2025. Isn't that crazy?
What the heck?
It's crazy. We did our first seminar together in 14. I know. That's nuts.
Wow, that is
11 years. I know, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for everything, all your support in 2024. It is going to be crazy in 2025. So look for all the happenings that are going to be going on, because apparently I'm going to be working just like I was in 2015 again. So we're going for it, man. Let's do this. It's going to be so fun. All right, guys, talk to you later.